Hi, everybody. This is your host, Jerry Cirino from the Median Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I really appreciate all of you listening and I hope you're up for another solo episode with me. Hopefully, uh, your favorite host on From the Median. I'm going to go over just a number of topics that you're going to get in your email. If you go to clevelandrighttolife.org and you sign up for this, and you can get all these really great articles. It's a quick summary of a number of issues in regards to life issues and what's going on in this country right now and throughout the world. And you can get this information and click on it and read the various articles. So I'm going to, as I have been doing for a few weeks now, going through some of these articles and just giving you a brief overview of them in case you want to go and get them yourselves, which I would highly suggest that you do. Great. I get these in my email every couple days even, and it gives me direct links to these various articles from some of the most wonderful uh, outlets that you can find, and they're not easy to find, let's be honest. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one here. I want to make a specific point. I'm coming here from Cleveland, Ohio, and we have a governor's race going on. Governor Mike DeWine is done. He's been in for 2 terms, and so he's of course now leaving. And so we have Vivek Ramaswamy running against Amy Acton, who was actually appointed by Governor DeWine as the Health and Human Services of Ohio during COVID-19. And something specifically that's relevant to all of us that care so deeply about the life issue, the abortion issue specifically, and that is that Amy Acton does in fact support abortion up to birth and at taxpayer expense. She is a radical leftist in every sense of the word. That is what she is and what she believes in, and that is the type of person that would be the governor of the state of Ohio. We cannot let that happen by any stretch of the imagination. She is bad news. She is bad. She was horrible during COVID. I don't even know how a pro-abortion individual under a Republican governor ever got into the position that she was in, but nevertheless, she was there. But we cannot let her get into the governor's office in the great state of Ohio. So please do everything you can to vote against her. But certainly Vivek is in my opinion, an excellent candidate. I'll let you decide here. But it's definitely, I could tell you who it's not, and it's not Amy Acton, that's for sure. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, you can go to Life News. Again, a great outlet, great organization in which you can find excellent and reliable news here, and that's where you can find this article. I want to point out another couple things on here in this list. And there's a lot of articles that come through. I'm not going to go through everything just because there are a lot of them, but I'm just going to kind of give you some of the highlights and encourage you to go to clevelandrighttolife.org. But there's a particular article also from Life News about France's National Assembly passes bill legalizing euthanasia. And this is not, unique to France per se. This is happening all over the world. This is a horrible thing. We cannot, as a society in any country, look at life as something that we just throw away, toss away when someone is ill or sick or in a difficult situation. We cannot have that type of attitude. And there was actually a case here, also on Life News, where a man who was declared brain dead, he actually woke up just before they harvested his organs. So, you think about this, just because you're ill, just because you're brain dead, just because you're a paraplegic or whatever ailment you have, cancer, you name it, don't give up on life, because you could be like this poor guy and wake up just before they started taking your organs. Can you imagine being this guy? Uh, not knowing what was about to happen here, or his family. I mean, I'm not laughing at the situation. Well, I am, but not at him, of course. But we have to value life. This guy has a second lease on life here, and we have to respect that. But I thought that was an interesting story, that they were just about to harvest his organs, and we know that they were doing that, selling body parts of little babies, specifically aborted babies. And we have found out too that babies who are born alive are their organs are better, in a sense, in on the market, so to speak, and for research if they're born alive and then taken. So think about that horror, that absolute horror, that must occur, or is occurring, when they're harvesting baby body parts for science and they're selling them. And we know that they were doing that. Sick, isn't it? It's sick. It's sick. Speaking of sick, we certainly saw when Charlie Kirk was horribly murdered, for everybody out there to see, while he was simply speaking. And we think a lot about Charlie Kirk speaking. We don't think enough about the fact that Charlie Kirk was listening. He was giving a voice to people who opposed him. And that's what he was doing on college campuses everywhere, is he let people come up and ask questions and make their points, and he engaged them in dialogue, in respectful dialogue, right? So we know that some horrible people, lots of people actually, were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, a horrible, brutal murder of a man, a son, a grandson, a brother, a father, a husband, and so on. I mean, a horrible act, and people cheered. And we know, also, just if you're paying attention, leftists in the UK were celebrating when Anne Winnecombe was murdered. She was a pro-life politician in Great Britain, and she was a Catholic convert, and she was bludgeoned to death by a hammer by some nut job. And I don't know that they've specifically identified his motive, but I think that it's a reasonable assumption that it very likely had to do with her political affiliation. I saw a picture of the guy who was arrested for it, and I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and I won't do that. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet that this guy's a radical leftist as well. But this is what the left does. I mean, you don't see this, and I think this is relevant to note, when a left leaning person, a leftist, passes away, however they pass away, whether it's just natural causes or through disease, or God forbid it's some kind of murder, you don't see celebration. You don't see people on our side celebrating, laughing, cheering, saying we're happy they're dead. You just don't see that. And I think it's the difference in how we look at and how we value life. And we also have a sense of decency, right? That you just don't do that kind of thing. And yet the left does it constantly, constantly. They do it for everybody. It's really quite sad. As a matter of fact, I heard about, and it's not on here, it's not from this, the Cleveland Right to Life.org email that I get. But I did see that there was I believe it was a bar or restaurant that was offering free beer to their customers whenever Donald Trump died. Right? I mean, what's wrong with these people? Right? I mean, I tremendously dislike many Democrat politicians. Right? Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, but I would never ever do that. And I don't think anyone on our side ever would. It just is not seen from our side. All right, let's see. We got Planned Parenthood here. Um, the reconciliation bill that the House Republicans passed does not defund Planned Parenthood. I you know This is from Life News as well. Life News has a lot of great stuff, so I would highly suggest going and regularly reading Life News and going to Life News. But we, when are we going to finally defund them? Defund Planned Parenthood, right? I mean, all these radical leftist billionaires, and there's plenty of them. Why don't they fund it? Obviously, I don't want anything to be funded by Planned Parenthood, but why should taxpayers have to do it? Let Bill Gates and George Soros and those people fund Planned Parenthood if they really wanted to. And they probably would, so it wouldn't really change much, except that our tax money would not be used for that reason. All right, I want to bring up another one on here that that is maybe even somewhat of a controversial situation, because I know Donald Trump has pushed in vitro fertilization, and I think, in my opinion, I think Donald Trump is simply just misguided and doesn't fully grasp it. But the Catholic bishops, they've asked Trump to not expand IVF specifically over the moral concerns, and I think that IVF, while on one side could make the case and say, well, why are you against life? Don't you want more life? And I think even Trump said, don't we want more babies? And the answer is yes to all of those things. We all want more life. We want more babies. We want life, of course. But there's a huge difference when it comes to IVF versus simply having babies the normal way. Through IVF, many of the fertilized eggs do not survive. So we're talking about fertilized eggs that are killed, in essence, or allowed to die. And we're also procreating unnaturally, right? I'll leave it at that. And that's something that people don't think about enough, and that we cannot and should not live in a society in which we have procreation, which is good, but done through a process that is not good, right? It has to be through the natural ways of a man and a woman, and that's God's plan, right? That's the way God designed it. That's truth. It's good. It's right. And that's what needs to be done. So I want to highly encourage everybody to really think long and hard about IVF. If you're on the fence or you're on the other side of it, I realize your intentions may be good, potentially, but really think long and hard about the issue of IVF. It is an important issue. I hear there's a great article from Life Site News in which Senator Hawley, who's really great, by the way, targets, he's going after these George Soros funded dark money groups in push for the Department of Justice to crack down on the abortion pill. The abortion pill is a real problem. It's a very serious problem. Besides the fact that the abortion pill is killing babies, it's putting women at great risk in so many ways, even beyond the medical side. It's putting sex trafficking and rape victims in jeopardy, because their abusers could simply order the rape pill, or I'm sorry, the abortion pill. We're also seeing cases out there of boyfriends or husbands secretly putting the abortion pill in their wives or girlfriends' drinks, hoping to induce an abortion. This is not a safe drug. I mean, it's not safe, period, because it causes abortion. But even beyond that, it is not safe to women to take this period. It's also unsafe to be taking it at home when with no supervision, no medical supervision, and the like. And of course, the media constantly suppresses any bits of information, any news out there of the abortion pill harming people. They hide it, they run from it, they don't want to talk about it. So check out this article on LifeSite News. This is important. It really is. It's an important topic. We got to get rid of this abortion pill. It is a serious problem. I want to point out one other thing. Two things that are of interest to me that are not from the clevelandrighttolife.org email that I get. I want to also point out something that was going on today. I don't know if any of you, today is July 29th as of this recording, and today was the day in which Dr. Fauci testified or was forced to testify before Congress, since Congress unveiled all sorts of information that was found, including writings from his diary and emails and the like about what Dr. Fauci was doing. And he pled the fifth on every single question. I believe it was 111 times he invoked the Fifth Amendment. Obviously, he wasn't going to answer any questions. So if you were to watch the hearing, or if you were to even watch certain sound bites of certain questionings, he doesn't answer anything. So don't expect to come away and get answers to the questions. But it's very telling that a person like Fauci, who by all accounts, by all evidence, lied quite frequently and quite severely in regards to COVID-19. He was lying. He was putting forward information that he should not have, or that he didn't really know the answers to, forcing people, certainly supporting the forced vaccination of an experimental vaccine that wasn't even a vaccine and did more harm than good. He hid a lot, deleted emails, and he was making millions of dollars as well, while he was out there supposed to be looking out for the people of this country. Again, he got a pardon, a full, complete pardon from Joe Biden's auto pen. So he could thank the auto pen for that. So he has a pardon. I don't think, and I highly doubt anything will happen to Fauci. They're looking at holding him in contempt of Congress because he pled the fifth. But I personally think that that's not going to go anywhere because he has the blanket immunity that Biden gave, which is really sad and corrupt, in my opinion. It's a horrible thing, but the fact of the matter is that if you watch that, you will be disgusted by what is brought to light about Dr. Fauci. You will be disgusted. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend you could just go to YouTube or Rumble and search Fauci, search Rand Paul was head of the committee that was investigating, and he had some great comments and great points that he made. So I would suggest, if you are looking to learn a little bit more about the whole travesty that was COVID-19 and those that were supposed to be in charge and supposed to be people we looked to during a time in which a lot of people were very, very panicked. This was a very corrupt man. In my opinion, he was a narcissist. He was greedy. He was playing politics with the lives of the people of this country. And again, I don't think anything is going to happen to him, but it should. And I hope there is justice for what and by the way, not just him, plenty of others, including, as I mentioned at the top of the show, Amy Acton, who's now running for governor of Ohio. These are people who behaved very irresponsibly. They were, at best case, they were incompetent in their jobs and in their roles. in the things that they said to the out in the public, in which the public looked to them and took what they said to heart. Not all of us did, but many people did. And Dr. Fauci was the, in my opinion, somewhat of the ringleader. He could have put a stop to a lot of the nonsense, whether it was the social distancing or especially the restrictions on children who had no risk whatsoever from COVID. Everything else that he was doing and saying about the cause of or the source of COVID-19, which were lies, and the like. And so this is a problem. He's a problem. But of course, he got blanket immunity by Joe Biden's auto pen right as he was leaving office. It's very similar to Hunter Biden, who was also given that pardon. These are corrupt individuals. And I think it's relevant and important for all of us to know that, because this is serious. The last thing I wanted to point out and mention is, may sound or look irrelevant, and it's not specifically to uh, Cleveland Right to Life or anything like that, but I just want to point out a movie that I watched with my two boys just the other day on Netflix. So if you still have Netflix, go to it, and I would highly suggest watching. I'm looking for the movie. I meant to set it aside here, but I'll find it here. Oh yeah, here it is. It's called Ordinary Angels. Ordinary Angels, it's called, and it was about a little girl in Kentucky. It's a true story that her mother passed away when she was little, and then she had a disease that she needed a new liver, and it tells the story of how a woman and a community helped this little girl get her new liver. It was actually a really, really good story, a good movie. It was well done, and especially with so many movies out there that are not well done, and quite honestly, aren't good. Just simply aren't good, or have any kind of purity to them. This was actually a really good one. We enjoyed it, and it was a really good message. So, Ordinary Angels is the name of the movie. Just a plug for it. I get nothing from it, neither does Cleveland Right to Life, but I just want to point it out when there's something good out there in Hollywood, quote unquote. I'll give him credit where credit is due. So, Ordinary Angels on Netflix. So, again, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate all of you being here. I'm hoping that you're liking these solo episodes in which I go over the life news from Cleveland Right to Life. Again, clevelandrighttolife.org if you want to sign up for these and get these emails, and you can dig into these articles, and they'll take you a direct link to the various articles and the sites that are publishing these articles. You have to go to good sources of information. You'll get these, they'll come right to your email, and you'll be able to follow along as well. And so I would highly encourage you to go to clevelandrighttolife.org. I'd also ask you to go to fromthemedian.org. Please connect with us there. Watch our shows there. Like and subscribe to the podcast on any podcast app. And I would love it if you email me if you had any questions, comments, or any suggestions about the show. Email me, Jerry at clevelandrighttolife.org. My email again is Jerry at clevelandrighttolife.org. So I thank you so much for listening. As always, I really appreciate you being here, and we will see you next time.